Well, government has prohibited events that include more than 100 people. Where does that leave churches as we head into Easter? I'm joined now by Bishop Malusi Mpumlwana from the South African Council of Churches. Bishop, thank you very much for coming into studio this morning. So gatherings of over 100 are banned. What does that mean for church services? Are they banned too?
Well, these are South African citizens and to our law-abiding citizens. I would imagine that, excuse me, churches... No coronavirus. No coronavirus. Churches will look at how this impacts on their practices. In fact, you may remember that the very first time this came across our country, we indicated that we'll be convening a meeting of churches by the end of this month. Hey, we thought we had the luxury of time. We found that we don't. And so we then brought that forward to meeting this week. So that was before the President made his announcement to look at how we can curb the spread of the virus. And that meeting has now been changed, actually, together with the meeting of another organization, the Motsepe Foundation, that is convening religious organizations this week. We've asked them to make over their time, as well as the SACC to make over its time to government, because government has requested time to meet with the religious organizations this week so that we can then look at the implications. But at the same time, a number of organizations, churches, have already been working with their denominations in this regard. We have asked all of them to share with us what they have already decided so that we can then be able to split that out to others.
The Moria gathering in Limpopo pulls together over 1 million people every year. It is an important celebration. I would imagine it's been cancelled, has it?
Well, I can't say that. They're obviously in a position to... The ZCC is not a member of the South African Council of Churches, but we all work together, and in fact they were already invited and indicated that they're coming to the meeting to discuss these matters. I also know that the Minister of Health has had a direct meeting with them last week, so that they are in the process of rethinking how they're going to work. I think that the President has said is that all organizations must look at what this means for them. I just want to add a little bit here that talking about these gatherings for churches, the most pressing thing for the South African Council of Churches is the impact on the poorer communities. We've got about 7 million people with HIV in this country. We've got maybe 200,000 to 300,000 people on TB, and we've got cancer, we've got diabetes cases, but we also have the general low immunity that comes from the poverty of people in these large numbers. So it's very important that all of us do everything we can to make sure that we curb the spread, because it will have devastating impacts.
But you cannot say at this moment, this morning, following what the President has said, that church services are cancelled.
Of course I can't, because that's not my place to say.
But surely the President has essentially said it's reckless to hold such gatherings.
Absolutely correct. But you see, the Council of Churches cannot say denomination A will cancel it. That's their business to make that announcement, not me. I'm just saying that we are facilitating the understanding that is required for this, and we hope that all law-abiding citizens will actually abide by this.
When is that meeting?
On Thursday.
On Thursday. I want to talk about a slightly different role, the role of the church in difficult times. You know, the President has sent out his weekly newsletter, and he ends it with this: the Tumamina moment is upon us, perhaps as never before. This too shall pass, we shall overcome, we are South Africans. Let's talk a little bit about the role of the church in helping people navigate their way through a time of panic and fear and worry. How are you going to do that if church services are cancelled?
Now, two things, but before I get to that, first thing is to say that we right from the beginning, we said, please keep calm. And that's really very, very important. We have to keep calm. We can almost say, let's pray for the best and prepare for the worst. And that's really where we want to be. Now, the two things that I want to say about this, the first one is that the churches, or rather religious organizations, have got almost a wall-to-wall presence across the country. Every ward, every village has no less than 10 churches, maybe 20 or more. And that means there is an infrastructure there that can be used not only for the pastoral ministry that is necessary on an ongoing basis, but also in its ability to disseminate communication and make sure that on a daily, weekly basis, people know what needs to happen, because things are changing by the minute. So definitely the churches will be doing a lot of this, but we have to make some changes in the way we do things. We cannot continue to do the cup as we've done it before, the greeting of shaking hands as we've done before. We may have to change how we lay on hands. It may have an impact on baptisms, may have an impact on all these things. That's why the churches need to meet by themselves to look at how they're going to change their way of doing business.
Well, thank you very much, Bishop. Thank you for coming in this morning. That, of course, is Bishop Malusi Mpumlwana from the South African Council of Churches. Let's